Welcome to the NBA 2K25 expansion series with the Mexico City Aztecs, everyone. Last episode, we traded away Naz Reid and Gary Trent Jr. to acquire Dalton Knecht, Max Christie, and a future first-round pick in 2031. But we are 20-40 this year, one of the worst in the entire league. We are, in fact, in line for a top 3 selection in the upcoming NBA draft. We have the second highest odds to get that first overall pick, only behind the Nets, who own the Phoenix Suns pick. The Jazz are right behind us with 2 picks, one of their own plus the Lakers pick, because the Lakers are also one of the worst teams in the league and in the conference. We are a few days away from the extension deadline for new contracts, and we have a couple of players eligible, including Josh Green, Najee Marshall, and Max Christie, but I think I'm going to let Josh Green and Najee Marshall walk. Josh Green this year has been just a pretty disappointing overall player for us these last 2 years, or last 3 years really. I think it makes more sense to let him walk. Same goes for Najee Marshall. You know, he's been solid for us. In fact, maybe he has earned a potential extension, but he is a bit undersized at power forward. I think we just got to reset at the power forward spot. That was part of why we gave away Naz Reid, was to look towards the future, hopefully get younger in that regard. And for Max Christie, he still has one more option to use. It is a player option, and he is 24 years old. I think I would rather re-sign him now than let him potentially walk a year from now with that player option. So I want to try and offer him a deal, and we'll try and get him some playing time next year. And if he does not shoot better than he has been these first couple of years, and he will be in line to be let go, I'll offer a 1-year extension and see what he can do for us next season. And he will take the offer. So we got him, and now that should be it. We're going to end our year today. Year 3 is going to come to a close. We're going to watch 2 different games. One's going to be the second half of the game against Frank Bauer and the Houston Rockets, and then we'll also get a game in against Leonard Law, one of those other top prospects who was a point guard, and we'll get a last look at some of these prospects in this next draft. We are now 23-44 after getting 3 wins in 7 games. We lost by 8 against the Bucks, getting outscored by 9 in the fourth quarter. 30 for David Dennis, one of his best days on the year. Cobb stuffs the stat sheet, goes for 16, 9, and 7. Knecht with 14 points, but Dame and Giannis both dropped 30+, and the Bucks get a win number, whatever it was on the year for them. They are still below 500. We lose against the Pacers, 25 for John Cobb to lead the way for us, but nobody else was really too good for us offensively, as Dennis goes 1 for 10 from the field, and Grant Williams goes 1 for 9 as our starting forward. Halliburton drops 30 and 11. Mathurin drops 24, and we lose. We also lose against the Heat and Leonard Law, as Dennis and Cobb drop 19+ each. Law goes off for 27 here in this game. He is more of a scoring point guard, and I thought he was going to go before we took Dennis, but he actually went after him. In this game against the Jazz, we blow them out by 30 points. York held to 17. Keontae George drops 22, but Dennis goes off for 21 and 12, one of his best days this year. John Cobb 28, and Knecht drops in 24. So the kind of, young core of this team, Dennis, Cobb, and now Knecht, really go off for a good performance for all of those guys. If we can get more games like that, game in, game out, like we do here against the Magic, then that is going to be a really just promising core to have in the future. 20+ for both Dennis, Cobb, and Knecht. Dennis playing very well these last couple of games, besides that one game where he went 1 for 10. 25 or more for Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, but the Magic fall by 9. We take down the Pelicans despite 28 or more from Zion and Ingram. We get 26 for Dennis, 25 for Knecht, 21 for Cobb. So that's a pretty good couple of days despite the loss right there. Grant Williams leads the way for us in a win against the Raptors as we came back in the fourth quarter with a 39-16 quarter to win by 18 points. Connect has been shooting very well for us these last couple of games. Now over 17 points per game, shooting at 52% from the field and 48 behind the arc. If he can do this these next couple of years, he will be a go-to starting player as a potential third, perhaps fourth option if we can draft another star-esque player. These last 2 weeks have been really promising for David Dennis as well. He's had at least 4 of our last 7 games. He has popped off for, 26 or more points. So he is trying to close his year strong now, nearly up to 40% shooting after he was at like 37 a couple weeks ago. So let's go to this game against the Rockets and see if we can get a good look at Frank Bauer, who is the first overall pick in this last draft. He is now starting for the Rockets, it looks like, and Alperen Şengün seems to be hurt. An injury to his ankle, but he should be coming back soon before the playoffs. They're going to be a playoff team, so they're going to have quite a big question mark at who should be their starting center. We will start this game in the third quarter. Just out of halftime, the Aztecs lead Houston 67-64 here in the Toyota Center. A very high-scoring game. First play of the half, and John Cobb just got sent 6 feet under. Anyways, though, high-scoring first half here in Houston. As again, they are missing Şengün. Now the shot clock's winding down. Cobb has to jack up a shot. That one's no good. Jalen Green pushing the tempo, unable to finish, and Mark Williams flies in for the rebounds. Connect, finds him inside on the other end, but he can't lay it in. Frank Bauer right there to contest the lay-in. Top of the key, and off the mark. Good box out by Grant Williams. Good bounce pass. Williams stuffed at the rim by Bauer. And now Whitmore. Out to Green, who is going to get called for a charge. Drawn by Dennis. Loaded and stolen by Bauer. Already showing off his defensive prowess. And now free throws coming up for Jalen Green, which can put the Rockets on top. At 9 points there in the first half, trying to really get going here in the second half, as the free throws are both good. Screen set by Williams, and he gets it over the top. Beautiful pass over Bauer. Driving, and Williams is called. No, it's Cobb called for a foul. And more free throws for Jalen Green. Has yet to miss at the line tonight. And the Rockets lead by 1. Pick set. Dennis leaves it to Reed Shepherd. A little bit behind Mark Williams. And Jabari Smith nails the jump shot on the other end. Houston up by 3. Inbound pass to Cobb, coasting inside. Bauer comes over to foul him and prevent the buckets. Inbound pass was nearly stolen. Cobb this year continues to impress with this new playbook, now over 21 points per game on average. After about 18 or 19 in his rookie season, a pretty nice increase here. Might potentially be in line for most improved player, but honestly, it's probably going to go to like a 6th man of the year or something. Bauer gets it, low block. Williams stalls him out. Now Reed Shepherd tries to create as the shot clock winds down. Over Dennis, offline. Couple of dual screens setting up for David Dennis. Stepping into a shot, that one connects. Isolation for Shepherd. Driving, blowing by Dennis, and drawing the foul. That is the 5th on Grant Williams already. There's still over 8 to go in this third quarter. we're going to keep Grant Williams in. Not really sure why. Love these pick and rolls, and that is why. Bauer called for his third. Williams throws it down. Now a free throw to boot. It is up, and it rattles in. Aztecs increase their lead to 2. Calling forward again. Here's Bauer. Strong drive, blowing by Mark Williams for the deuce. The Rockets average the second most assists per game. They've already got 19 here in this one. On their way to a 31 assists per game average as we lob it to Dennis, but Reed Shepherd jumps in front of it for another steal. Green spins, but can't finish at the rim. Bauer gets the tip, and Whitmore finishes the play. A lot of ball handling so far for David Dennis. Can we get Connect or Cobb more involved here? Williams has it. Shot clock winding down. Cobb once again has to create by himself. That is a lot to ask with only a couple of seconds to spare. Fast break triple online from Jabari Smith Jr. The Rockets increase their lead to 5. Screen sets. Beating Williams again, but Bauer has been playing some really good pick and roll defense for the most part. Bauer working against Williams. Drive, shrugs him off, misses the dunk. A lot of just picks being set for Dennis here. Can somebody else touch the ball? The shot is not going to go. The offense has come to a screeching halt. They lob it, poked away by Williams midair for a steal. Dennis feeds inside to Cobb over Jalen Green for his first field goal of the half. After a mismatch with Bauer on Dennis that time. Bauer the pick. Green, the jumper, open look, count it. And now it is nearly stolen by Shepherd. Dennis for the 3. That's offline. Got a mismatch down low, but Reed Shepherd sets a bad screen. It's going to be a turnover. Coro and Rozier now in for the Aztecs. Cobb, Williams, and Grant Williams will stay in for now. Okoro for the triple, no good. Tipped out to Jabari Smith. Aztecs still trailing by 5. Bauer stripped at the rim by Grant Williams. Great defensive play. We turn the ball over and give it right back. Okoro was trying to lob that one, but timed it poorly, and Whitmore will take advantage. Cobb crosses the court. Catch and shoot. Open look. Using the glass to knock it in. Back and down Grant Williams. Smith got him up in the air. Goes up again. Follows his own shot. It stays alive with Houston. Here's Thompson. Back to Bauer. Up and under with the finish. Watch one last offensive play for Mexico City before we jump ahead. We nearly turn the ball over again. Was poked away that time by Amen Thompson. Now shot clock under 5. Rozier just throws up a highly contested shot, but Williams pulls down the offensive board. Rozier thought about trying again. Now hesitates, but why? Now it's going to be even more contested, man. We just got outscored like 31-13 in that third quarter, and now we trail by 26 points after leading by 3 at the break. Houston in full control in this second half. The offense has really gone cold for Mexico City. Now the shot clock is winding down, and Dennis has to shoot. And right now, he has had the ball, I think, just way too much. Shot clock once again winding down. Williams is going to have to shoot. Missed it, but got it back again, but misses the layup. Connect comes in for the rebound. I might just swim to the end here. This is embarrassing offense, man. Here's Cobb with it, working against a defender over Griffin. The shot's not going to go. We have hardly seen Cobb or Connect shoot the ball, and I don't really know what the deal is there. Cobb will fire now on the move. It's not going to go, but Williams once again pulls down the offensive board. He has been all over the glass in this one, but has made no real impact. Dennis into a jump shot. That one's open and good. He's got 16 points on 16 shot attempts. Screen set for Dennis. Thompson just gets around that one easily, and Dennis has to shoot. That one's going to drop in. Well, folks, a second-half blowout leads the Rockets to their 42nd win on the season. Pretty good third quarter played by Frank Bauer, and the offense continues to be very inconsistent. But I do feel like once our players progress, like Dennis and Cobb, once those guys really become those, like, you know, upper echelon players, star players, perhaps a superstar player, that's when things will look a lot different for this team. We lose this one 126-100. 29 for Amen Thompson, 22 for Reed Shepherd. Frank Bauer, 14, 6, and 8 plus 1 steal and 3 blocks on 7 for 12 shooting. We had 22 for Cobb. Barely saw him score. That must have been more of a first half thing. Dennis goes 18 and 7, but, you know, that third quarter, he had the ball for 95% of all of our possessions in total, and that I think it's just too much. You know, he needs to dish the ball out more. Had 7 assists obviously in this game, but when we're actually watching the game, I think there are things to work on, and Grant Williams going 3 for 14 definitely does not help. We shoot 45%. They shoot 58% on their way to a win. Well, I guess now we're going to sim 3 weeks and get to our final 3 games of the year. We lose against the Mavericks. We beat Golden State. We lose in blowout fashion again to the Rockets. We take a game against the Sixers and the Kings. Lose against the Warriors on back-to-back games. We get a win against the Clippers after getting blown out by Minnesota, and now we enter against the Heat 28-51. We played better as of late, but not a whole lot better. 39 for Kyrie here in the win for Dallas. 30 for Cobb, 22 for Connect. In the first game against the Warriors here, Cobb and Dennis dropped 20 or more each. Steph goes off for 30, but on relatively poor shooting, and the Warriors lose that game. In the rematch against Houston, Dennis drops 29. Cobb and him both took 22 shots, but Dennis does shoot better. And we lose by 21 thanks to 24 for Alperen Şengün. Bauer, 19 points off of the bench. Very impressive game right there as the Bulls beat the Timberwolves in the NBA Cup finale, and they take it by 4. We take down the Sixers with a nice 21-point victory here. Double-figure scoring for 7 of our players, including the top 3 scorers being that young core of Dennis, Cobb, and Connect. 20 plus for Maxey McCain and Joel Embiid in the loss for Philly. We blow out the Kings by like 30 or whatever that is. Yeah, I think it's 30. 20 for Grant Williams, 17 for John Cobb. Really balanced scoring approach, and nobody really played that well for the Kings across the board. And our first loss of 2 against the Warriors, 33 for Jonathan Kuminga and 24 for Steph. 32 for Dennis, again having some really nice scoring days here to close the year as Cobb shoots 5 for 19. In the rematch, we lose again, 21 for Cobb, only 14 for Dennis on 10 shot attempts, and 37 for Steph Curry. Then we lost against Minnesota, 26 for Dillingham and Towns, 25 for Cobb, 25 and 5 for David Dennis. Against the Clippers, we got 30 from Cobb, 22 and 6 from Dennis. Mark Williams continues to go off with these big double-double performances as Lucas held to only 13 points, but was one board shy of a triple-double in the Clippers L. We have played our last 2 games against the Spurs, one of which we lost by 2, despite nobody really playing all that well for the Spurs, although Wemby was 1 assist shy of a triple-double. 22 and 10 for Dennis, 21 for Grant Williams, and 20 for John Cobb. 18 for Connect. We shoot 40% from behind the arc, but we still lose that game. We get one back, though, in a close win against the Spurs, winning by 3, despite 23 from Wemby. We get 26, 10, and 7 for Cobb. One of his better, stat-stuffing all-around days, as Dennis picks up 5 steals and pours in 24 points in the winning effort. And now we have 3 games left, including one against Leonard Law and the Miami Heat, who are 43 and 35. Before these last 3 games, we still have the second highest lottery odds. The Jazz have now bumped up to first place with their own pick. The Nets have fallen to 4. The Lakers stay at 3, but that pick belongs to Utah. So Utah is once again most likely going to have a top 3 pick, and it's probably going to have 2 top 5 picks if I had to guess. That is insane, man. That is insane. And the Rockets do own the Nets pick, but the Nets own Phoenix's pick. So regardless, they're going to have a top 10 pick. They also have the Philly pick in the top 10, and our other pick, which belongs to us from the Hawks. It's still right now on track to be a lottery pick, and I think is secured there as well with only 4 games left, and they are 5 games below the Grizzlies. So I think we should be good with 2 lottery picks this year once again. That will take us into the second half against the Miami Heat here in Miami. David Dennis facing off against another top 10 pick in Leonard Law, as Jaquez's shot is off the mark. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, as we trail by 3 after a tightly contested first half. Just like against the Rockets last time, can we win this game instead and close the year strong? Cobb's got it. He steps back, does not fire. Dennis will have to. Instead, it's denied. And Connect puts it right back up and misses it. And Bam Adebayo with the rebound. We got a mismatch down low, but Bam does not get the pass. It's Harrow instead with the jump shot. 20 points for Tyler Harrow and 70% shooting. He had a pretty hot first half. Shot clock winding down. Cobb ISOs against Harrow. Is going to have to jack it up. The step back triple is too strong. Cobb now 2 for 7 from the field as Adebayo throws it in off the assist from Law. A very similar start as to the third quarter against Houston just a couple games ago. Here's Dennis driving, readjusting, and fouled by Law, his first. Run in for Dennis. Will drop in. Want to see better passing across the board here for the starting 5. I don't want to end the year with a really poor offensive game. I want to see this team light it up, shoot well, get open looks, and find the open man as often as possible. There's a nice steal from Dennis and Williams. Dennis picked up by Bam. Can we get the ball out of here? Here's Connect with it in the corner to Williams. His shot, no good. Up ahead, and Bam was all alone. What the heck happened there on the other end? Can the offense find their rhythm? Cobb has it. Guarded by Tyler Harrow, driving, but Bam comes over, stuffs it back to Mark Williams, who was able to get the putback through the hoop. Into a 3. Harrow drains it in Cobb's face. And the Heat jump up by 8 points. Cobb drives, has it poked away, and it's going to be out of bounds off of Cobb somehow. Last 5 games for Connect have been pretty bad. 10 points per game, 28% from behind the arc. You know, Simming has looked pretty good for us as of late, but in these showcase games at least, you know, this playbook has been very inconsistent, unreliable. We have not had open looks very often, and I'm not really sure if it's the actual playbook or if it's, you know, player tendencies playing a part there, but either way, you know, things have been different every single game as Cobb misses that jump shot, and the Heat look to increase their lead to potentially 10 or more. Arrow, out of a shot, finds Finney Smith. Leonard Law spots up, but misses. For 3, Dennis rattling off a triple, no good. And the offense continues to sputter. Law takes the screen. Feeds Finney Smith inside. Grant Williams did not follow his matchup. Dennis from the elbow drains it right over Leonard Law, one of the other top point guards of this last NBA draft. He's once again got 16 points here. Can he will us back into this game? Screen sets by Adebayo, nearly stolen. He gets it back, and that's going to be an and one. Nearly was a turnover. Instead, it's going to be a potential three-point play for Bam Adebayo. High ball screen. Dennis finds Williams on the roll. And stolen. Bad pass by Harrow, cut off by David Dennis. Now he's open for a triple. Catch and shoot. He drills it off the Cobb assist. Isaiah Jackson, the screen, rolling inside. Law keeps it, lobs it up, and turns it over. Good play by Grant Williams. Cobb leads the fast break, and Mark Williams will cut the game back to 4. Another pick and roll. Williams this time gets beat. Dennis has it, Jordan loose. Loose ball tracked down by Connect. Move it, man. Don't just stand there. Cobb pumps, blows by Law, and is fouled on the help defense. It's the first against Adebayo. First free throw up and good for John Cobb, as his points per game and free throw percent continues to rise as the year comes to a close. Screen comes over. Law buries the triple. High ball screen set. Okoro floats it. Great pass. But Bam just snatches it from behind. What just happened? Now a mismatch. Mark Williams guarding Law. His triple won't connect this time. The Heat lead by 7. We'll jump ahead here soon to the fourth quarter and close things out here. Got a mismatch down low, and we see it. Going right to Mark Williams. Double team comes. It's 2 guards that are too small for him. We jump ahead to the fourth. 7:07 left to play. Heat lead by 8, so a chance for us to win this game. But it was once again a poor scoring third quarter by the Aztecs, which allows the Heat to extend their lead to nearly double digits. Here's Harrow with it, stepping back, creating space. The shot, though, is no good. But Ware pulls down the rebound, and we still get the stop. John Cobb back in the game for the Aztecs. Trying to ISO against Harrow. Steps back, but left it short. He's tried to ISO a couple of times now, but so far, Harrow's played some pretty solid on-ball defense. Screen setting up. Law dribbles a couple of times, fires over Cobb, no good. Lobbing it for Dennis. He misses the dunk. Out of bounds. That was a great feat by Connect. Backdoor to Jaquez. He left it short. Off the screen. Dennis whips it inside. Pass cut off by Finney-Smith. Fast break. Snatched by Mark Williams. What a play. And the hustle to get back on defense. And now backdoor. Dennis. Back out. Grant Williams pumps. Blows by Finney-Smith right into a foul from Finney-Smith. So a couple of turnovers going back and forth. Very defensive game right here. As the first free throw goes for Grant Williams. And so does the back end. Driving. Law. Bucket and foul. Dennis can't believe the call. The free throw for the other top first round rookie is up and good. Bauer still leads the Rookie of the Year race. Dennis behind him. Law, I believe, is in third or fourth, but he is also up there in the running for that award. Under 4.5 to play. Over the top fade. Williams. Picked up by Bam. He's not going to shoot. The shot clock once again counts down for the offense. How many times do we have to watch this? Uh-oh. Open look. Never mind. It's going to be a foul. And Mark Williams is fouled out of the game. That was number 6. Leonard Law's got 16 points. Back end's also good. And now it's going to be a turnover. They're going to call a charge. Cobb is pissed. We have barely ran any three-point plays, like open off-ball screens to get a shooter open. Maybe a playbook change is needed for the rest of the squad, not just for Cobb, but for everybody else. So far, we've had multiple games where the offense is just slow and cluttered and almost too many pick and rolls being called. And now we give it right back to the Heat. Do it right to Jaquez. Bounced inside. Bam Adebayo extends the lead for Miami to 13 points. Under 3 to go. The door is closing fast on this potential win. We're going to talk things over. Is there going to be anything to like from the offense here? Cobb draws number 2 on Bam. I mean, so far when we have tried to drive to the rim, Adebayo is just there waiting every single time. And Cobb has been held in check in this one. Only 10 points now at that free throw. Quiet offensive game for him. As he goes 1 for 2, and Grant Williams, a loose ball foul. That will put DFS at the line, the former Aztec. Did not get much playing time for us. Gets plenty for the Heat. Maybe that was a mistake to let him go. Who knows? Cobb works his way inside, throws up a shot. It's no good. I mean, nobody can hit anything right now for us from the field. It's mostly free throws that are giving us a lot of these points in this second half. Just not getting open jump shots, not getting open down low on like backdoor cuts or screens for the most part. And it's just kind of hard to watch. Cobb tries again and draws a foul. What did I just say? It's been free throws for the most part, and we're going to have less than 100 points, perhaps less than 90 points in this game if things continue these last minute 56. Free throws are both good this time from John Cobb. Arrow, and 1. Why can't we do that? That is the 9th on Mexico City, 5th on Cobb. MVP chance for Harrow. What are we doing here in Miami? Pick and roll for Wiseman. Bam, got turned around. And Wiseman can flush it in for 2. Law for 3. Another one that he absolutely buries. He has looked pretty darn good, especially shooting-wise here in this one. We trail by 16 points. Just trying to close the game strong, I guess, but this is going to be a loss no matter how you cut it. Deep 3 for Cobb. Off the mark. Well contested. Into a three. Harrow, no good. Give us just one good play that is not a pick and roll. I mean, this is embarrassing. We're going to have less than 90 points. We suck. Thank God the year's coming to a close here. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in year 4. As Law misses the lay-in. There's no shot clock left. Connect takes his first shot that we've seen all day. And he misses it. And that's going to do it here in Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida. The Heat take it 105-89. And there is not a lot to like about the offense here. Thank God the year is almost over.
Your Miami Heat, 105. The away team, 89.
32 for Harrow, 20 for Law, double-doubles for Adebayo and Jaquez Jr. We scored at most 23 points in a quarter, 22 in the last 3. Dennis with 21, Cobb 3 for 16 shooting. Rough day for him. And you got 2 games left on the season, folks. Let's go see how things close out. We take down the 56-win Bulls behind 23-15 from Mark Williams. But a poor shooting day for both of our starting backcourt players. And now we got to face the 34-win Celtics in the final game of the year. And we end year 3 with a nice win thanks to a strong third quarter. 118-104 your final score. Cobb ends the year on a high note. 37-10 on 15 for 29 shooting. Dalton Connect 23-9. Dennis goes 4 for 13, but did display 8 assists in this one. That's not too bad. 8 assists off the bench for Rozier as well. Pretty solid performance from a couple of different guys. And we end with, I want to say, 30 wins as Luka wins his 3rd straight MVP. Less points per game than he's used to, but he did still get close to a triple-double average on really good shooting splits. Frank Bauer does end up winning Rookie of the Year over David Dennis and over Leonard Law with a 14, 6, and 5 average. He also won 6th Man of the Year because he was playing behind Şengün for most of it. Victor Wembanyama wins Kia Defensive Player of the Year with nearly 2 steals and over 3 blocks a game. Jeremy Sohan wins Kia Most Improved Player. Scoot wins Kia Clutch Player of the Year, and Chris Finch wins Coach of the Year, while his GM wins Executive of the Year as well. So, big year for Minnesota. In the all-team selections, you got a first team consisting of Luka, Jokic, Wemby, Halliburton, and Giannis. Second team, you got Scoot Henderson, Scotty Barnes, Chet Holmgren, Zion, and John Morant. Third team, SGA, Devin Booker, Paolo Banchero, Deion York, in just his 2nd year, makes an All-NBA team alongside Cade Cunningham. All-defensive first team, led by Mobley, Giannis, Asar Thompson, Holmgren, and Wemby. All of these guys are big men, except for Thompson, who's more of a wing. And then all-defensive second team, you got Bam, Jokic, Claxton, Sarr, and the Time Lord. All-rookie first team, Frank Bauer, David Dennis, Leonard Law, J.P. Collier, and Will McBride. Second team, you got Jeffrey Gordon, J.C. Macy, Lamar Jameson, Jay Stevens, and the Dennis twin, Leonard Dennis. All right, there you go. Those are your awards. In the playoffs, we obviously miss out on the play-in tournament. And let's just see how things shake out here real quick. It's going to be a Mavericks-Pistons finals. The Pistons were the 8th seed. The 2nd time in history, and first time since the Heat did it as the 8th seed as well a couple years ago in real life. And the Pistons come from the play-in tournament all the way to the finals to face off against the Mavericks. They first lost against the Wizards, who won the 7th seed. They beat the Hawks to win the 8th seed. They swept the 1 seed Chicago Bulls. That is insane. They take down the 4-seed Raptors in 5. They beat the Pacers in 6 and now enter against the Mavericks in the NBA Finals. The Mavericks' road to the finals looks like this. They were the 2 seed. They swept New Orleans. They took down the Clippers in 6. Again, they took down the Rockets in 6. And now they're here. And the NBA title will go to the Mavericks in 7. They were trailing 3-1. They come back and win for only the second time in history where a team has come back from 3-1 in the finals and I believe the playoffs in general. Kyrie is your finals MVP as he is now the sole star player in Dallas. And they have won, 3 years straight, I think, since losing against the Celtics in, every final so far in this series they have won. Yeah, man, look at this. Game 5, Game 6, they won by 1 point. Game 7, Kyrie drops 52 to blow out Detroit with a 90-point second half from Dallas, and they were down 3-1. So Kyrie is part of both teams in history to have come back from that deficit in, I want to say it's both the finals and the playoffs, but at least it is the finals. So back in 2016 and now here in 2027, 11 years apart. That is an incredible feat. This year for the Aztecs looked like this. John Cobb played every single game, 21.3 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, nearly 1 block per game as well. He shoots 43%, hoping for some badges this next off season. 33% from behind the arc. His 3-point numbers have got to improve soon, right? And then 85% at the line. David Dennis shoots 85 as well at the charity stripe, but shoots worse from behind the arc at 28%. Goes 41% from the field and drops in 17 and 7 on average here in his rookie year. Strong rookie year numbers-wise, but shooting splits need improvement. I think our backcourt just has to shoot better overall to give us a chance to be a good team next year. Connect ends up playing 83 games because of the trade. 16 per game average, 3 boards, 2 assists, 51% shooter, and 47% from behind the arc, 82% at the line. Rozier off the bench, really good free throw shooter, solid 3-point shooter, good shooter overall at 48%. He averages 13.5 off the bench. Not too bad, but in watching, he was not the best. I think that needs to work, or needs to be worked on. Mark Williams starts every game except for one. 12 points per game, 9.5 boards. Might be in store for a lot more playing time over James Wiseman next year. And who knows if we add a center to play behind him to kind of be that pupil of his to become the eventual starter. Who really knows? We'll go over some more prospects here in a moment. Graham Williams shot 35% from the field. 35. And he started about half the games that he played in. James Wiseman, 7.5 and 7.5 off the bench. 58% from the field. Okoro shoots 44%. Christie, 43%, which I think is the highest in his career so far. Let's go verify that. That is the case. But his 3-point numbers were really bad. I will give him one chance next year, and if he does not step up or improve, then it'll be time to just move on from him most likely. And then Josh Green, 42% from the fields. Yeah, we have got to improve this bench because that is just killing us right now. Pretty much all of our backcourt players need to play better unless we just want to be bad forever. In terms of the advanced stats, highest game score, John Cobb, then Dennis, then Williams, then Connect. Highest player efficiency rating goes to Mark Williams, then Rozier, then Connect, then Cobb, Dennis, number 6. in terms of regular efficiency, which is used as one of the, best measuring sticks for how skillful a player is. You got Mark Williams, then John Cobb, then David Dennis, then connect. That's a good, four-prong attack right there. I think if you could just add a star player or just a really good young player that could be a star, Cobb, I think, will be at nearly a star level next year. Just my assumption here. Usage, Cobb, then Dennis, about each other. I think I would rather have Cobb be much higher over Dennis. So how can we lower the usage rate on Dennis? Because this pretty much tells you how often our possessions end with a shot or a turnover by that player. So I think you're seeing that. I think Dennis has had the ball a little bit too much. I want Cobb to be the focal point and Dennis to be more of a passer. So we'll see if that will change in the future. In terms of wins added, 9.1 for Mark Williams, 7.5 for Cobb, 7.4 for Connect, and 4 for David Dennis. It is negative for McLaughlin, Anderson, Josh Green, Najee Marshall, and Grant Williams, and Okoro too, the lowest on the entire team. So I think he's in danger of having his role phased out. We could still draft Wendell Brown and have him compete for a starting job alongside Connect. We could go after a power forward to replace Grant Williams as the starter, or we could draft a center to replace Wiseman on our bench, who had a 4.4 wins added. I think all of those could be things that we do in this next offseason. That will take us to our next little batch of players here. We already saw Maxwell Lou last time. Is there anybody that's worth even taking a look at down here? We don't really have many guys fully scouted down the stretch here. Are there any standouts? We got one guy down here, Andre Walsh, who is kind of a project player, so probably not going to be a lottery pick. Might be like a late first rounder, but good athlete, solid rebounder. IQ is kind of lacking, but he does have a high ceiling with an Alonzo Mourning All-NBA comparison and a floor of Theo Ratliff / bench. So definitely, one more boomer bust kind of a player. He can steal the ball. He's a great rim protector and can play above the rim and can finish with authority, but he does lack basketball IQ. Then you've got Vic Garnett, who is 23 years old, so really makes you think twice about drafting him. He's got a Cliff Hagan All-NBA ceiling. He's a 6'6" forward out of Louisville, a bench floor of James Posey. He's a pretty good defender, should be good, I guess, in a couple years, but who really knows what his peak age is? It's probably not going to be beyond 26. He's a poor finisher through traffic, does not score well with his ball to the bat or with his back to the basket, and is slow to grasp new offenses, so lacks IQ, it seems. Another project player right here. This last batch of players just does not seem any better than the guys above them. So I think I'm going to instead focus on drafting 2 of these 9 players on our draft board. 2 of these 9. We're going to have 2 lottery picks. If I had to guess, let's go just verify that real quick one last time. I can't see the lottery odds, but I'm assuming that we will have 2 lottery picks. We have the second best odds, again, which we've had for quite some time now. And we have the 14th best odds with that Hawks pick to get the first overall pick too. So we have 2 lottery selections, and I would hope one of them will be that top 4 pick. If so, I'm going to be drafting between 2 centers, Wendell Brown, and maybe Harrison Sally, who I'm also a fan of at the power forward position, or Zach Webb maybe could be a guy in there as well. I think any of those guys could be really good picks for us. They all have really good ceilings, pretty solid floors too. So there is a nice cluster of players to choose from, and they're not all going to go in the top 14 picks most likely. So we should be able to get 2 of these guys regardless if we get unlucky or not. But it just kind of depends, who will these 2 guys be? I don't plan to trade up. I plan to sit where we're at unless I really want a certain player at a certain spot, then I will make a trade. But I think for the most part, I'm leaning towards just picking where these picks land. And there are plenty of guys that we can take a chance on. I think I would be open to drafting with our second pick one of these guys that has the bench floor, because at some point you just have to, take a chance on somebody like Cam Weber, or on a guy like Griffin Isley who has another bench floor but high ceiling. So I think that there are players to pick from, and I do plan to draft 2 different positions, likely small forward, power forward, and center. So 2 of those 3. That's the goal here, and we'll see what unfolds next time, guys. That will do it here in this one. What do you guys think? Is this Lakers playbook good for only Cobb and bad for the rest of our team? Should we try a different, more modern Lakers playbook that still had Kobe on their squad back in like 08, 07? Because those playbooks are available to us if you want to try those too. I'm open to trying new things. You might as well experiment when your team is this young and that you need to see, where guys fit the best and in what certain roles. And who do you want to see us draft with these 2 lottery picks? Who is your favorite duo that we could add to this team alongside Dennis, alongside Cobb, and alongside Connect and Mark Williams? And, please like the video, subscribe, leave your thoughts down below. I will see y'all in the 3rd off season next time. Have a great day and take care.